What is going on, everybody? Lamont at large. Today, we are in Aurora, Colorado. I'm going to take you right behind me to Century Theaters. I'm going to show you the location where on July 20th, 2012, 24-year-old James Holmes, with a bad brain and murderous intentions, went into that movie theater and murdered 12 people. Let's take a walk. It's the summer of 2012, and 24-year-old James Holmes has been telling people for quite a while now that he has always wanted to kill people. He may not know why, but he knows that he definitely wants to do this. Now, at the time, he was enrolled at the University of Colorado. He was going there to get his graduate degree in neuroscience. He had already got his bachelor's degree at the University of California, Riverside, in the same field of study. This guy is going to be a scientist. But there's only one problem stopping him from doing that. He's crazy. He has a very, very serious mental problem. And I don't know why he chose this location to commit his heinous, atrocious, murderous rage. But he comes here during a midnight screening of The Dark Knight Rises. So he comes here to the Century Theater, and he's dressed all in dark clothing. So he buys the ticket and goes into the theater. He goes to theater number 9, and he looks around. I'm guessing that he thinks that this is the perfect place and the best opportunity for him to commit a mass shooting. He then exits the theater, comes to his car, and grabs his bag. In his bag is a couple of smoke grenades, a shotgun, a semi-automatic rifle, and a handgun. Now, he can't just go into the theater, with a bag, because they're going to search the bag. Theaters are not going to allow, food, outside food, candy, stuff like that. So he had actually made his entrance through one of these fire doors. I'm assuming that he might have exited that door and left it propped open. I'm not quite sure. But one of these doors right here, he went in and then goes into the theater. And during the movie, he takes out his smoke grenades, pulls the pin, throws them into the theater, and then all of a sudden the place starts filling up with smoke, and then he takes out his rifle and just starts shooting up the place. James Holmes opens up with everything he has, indiscriminately firing at any and everybody in the theater. What seems like forever to people who are getting shot at, getting shot, probably lasts about a minute. In total, 70 people are injured, 58 of them shot, 12 of them killed. Jonathan Blunk, 26, Alexander Boyk, 18, Jesse Childress, 29, Gordon Chowden, 51, Jessica Redfield, 24, John Larimer, 27, Matt McQuinn, 27, Michaela Medic, 23, Veronica Moser Sullivan, she would be the youngest victim, 6 years of age, with her father, 27-year-old Alex Sullivan, 24-year-old Alexander Tevis, and 32-year-old Rebecca Wingo, all murdered right here. Now, as multiple agencies in the area are coming to the movie theater to respond to the shooting, James Holmes makes his way out of the theater, and he's caught right here, standing by his car, just waiting for them to come and get him. He didn't try to get away. And when officers first came to the scene, they found him right here. And at first, they thought that he was a member of the SWAT team because he had on all technical gear. but obviously he was not. They drew their guns on him, ordered him to the ground, and took him into custody. This is the apartment building where James Holmes used to live. He had a 1-bedroom apartment right here, paid about $850 a month, and pretty good deal considering he's very close to school. So Ashley Moser, the mother of the youngest victim of this crime, was left a paraplegic, and at the time of the shooting, she was pregnant, and about a week later, she miscarried. Another man in this incident was left in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, and I think an 18-year-old kid, very young individual, was shot in the head with a shotgun by James Holmes and survived, but he could no longer speak, and he is going to need constant care for the rest of his life. So there was a fund that was made for the victims of the family members who died in this shooting, and they each got about a little over $200,000. So the question remains, why did James Holmes commit this atrocious crime? A young man, seemingly intelligent, with a bright future, grew up in a middle class, I would say an upper middle class family. His father was a scientist, mother was a registered nurse. He had everything in life that you could ever want given to him. Intelligent young man, was given a $21,000 grant to go to school here. And the prosecution's theory is that he wanted to be famous. He just wanted to be a killer so he could be famous. The defense, they're saying that he has mental illness, and a court-appointed psychiatrist had said that at the time of him committing this crime, that he was mentally ill but legally sane. Diagnosed him with schizoaffective disorder, or I think it's dissociative disorder. It's one of those two. The study of the mind, definitely not my field of study by any means, but basically it's a combination of him having schizophrenia, bipolar, and sprinkle in some depression in it. He had a girlfriend that he had in a biology class that broke up with him, and he used to tell her that he always wanted to kill somebody, kill people, feel the need to kill people. And she had convinced him, or somebody had convinced him, to seek help. He did see a psychiatrist at the University of Colorado, and they did encourage him to seek help for his mental illness, his mental problems, but he never did. And as his brain started becoming more and more diseased, he had, or was in the process anyways, of withdrawing from the University of Colorado. And in the trial, they have found a notebook in his apartment, which, by the way, when they came in to search it, was rigged with the booby traps and incendiary devices. Definitely a nutcase, to say the least. So they found a notebook that had kind of sketched out details of him wanting to and planning on committing this crime. So that really shows you that there was a plan in committing this crime. There was foresight in the plan and the commission of the act of these murders, these 12 murders. Now, the prosecution in the case, they're going for the death penalty. At the time, Colorado had the death penalty. They don't have it anymore. And so prosecution says he just wants to be famous. Defense, he's mentally ill. His father is pleading for his life. And of the 12 jurors who decided that he was guilty on all counts, 24 counts of first-degree murder, 140 counts of attempted murder. I think there was a count in there of possessing an explosive device. So 9 of the 12 jurors, they were going for the death penalty. They felt that the death penalty was very befitting and deserving of James Holmes, but two of them, they were on the fence. They weren't so sure. And one of the jurors, probably an anti-death penalty opponent, excuse me, there was no way you were going to convince that person that they should die for their crimes. And, you know, when you sprinkle in the mental illness aspect, when you sprinkle in that he had made efforts to, you know, get help. He had, you know, there was a couple of his friends, his ex-girlfriend, saying that he had always talked about wanting to kill people. People in his past that they had, you know, from jobs that he's had before, where they said, you know, you ever worked with a guy who's kind of crazy, kind of nuts, you know, a little cuckoo? Well, they pretty much described him, James Holmes, as being that individual. So later on, he was tried, found guilty of all counts that I mentioned, and he was sentenced to life in prison in Colorado. He'll never, ever, 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 ever get out. And so you have 13 years later, he's 37 years of age, and he's rotting in prison. And I mean, from what I've read, from what I've, you know, remember about the case, you know, definitely mentally ill. And another example of mentally ill people that should not be allowed to possess any kind of firearms whatsoever. Just a very terrible crime, to say the least, all around. A young kid with a bad brain, and then the 12 people that died, and all of the people that have suffered those horrific injuries. Very, very terrible. Okay, guys, I'm out of here.